Good morning. Good morning. How are you this morning? It is Saturday morning. It is April the 9th. My gosh. Time just flies. Today, one of us is a little bit behind already to start the day, and it's 9 o'clock. It's not going to get any better. But you know what? That's why you watch this faithful real estate agent. When you watch this show, you know what it's like to be an agent every day. Sort of. You have times like this, and that's why I feel like real estate's very difficult. Right now I'm just absolutely swamped with buyers, and I love it. I'm so thankful that I'm swamped with buyers, but at the same time, oh man, oh, there it is. At the same time, it makes things difficult. Like all day today, I'll be showing houses all over St. Louis. And it's kind of funny to me, like the Cardinals opening day was Thursday? And, I love St. Louis. Everything's great about St. Louis. Well, I love St. Louis too. But how many of those people drove through every single neighborhood in St. Louis yesterday? And how many are going to do it today? I mean, it's kind of weird. There's all these little municipalities in St. Louis. If you live in the South, you don't go north. If you live in the West, you don't come east. It's a very bizarre place. I don't know. But anyway, the important thing, I wanted to go over this as well. The important thing is you're here and I'm here. And this to me is enjoyable. Now I'm going to open a Coke can. Actually, Dr. Pepper, sorry to advertise. I've got a spam text coming through every day thanking me for a gift, which is not good because I don't need that. I don't know how to turn it off. If I open the text that acknowledges that I exist, I want to do that. All kinds of things. There we go. So let's start with this. It's hard for me to put it into words when you're like, well, John, you don't have any pictures behind you. Like there's no moving pictures on your live stream. So you're going to have to use your words, buddy. Okay, here we go. Last night I got done showing houses and I got home around maybe 8 o'clock. And my other live stream, Our Nature of Employment, normally goes on at 9. I didn't do a live stream last night. Instead, I watched YouTube. And I thought that I was doing the right thing. I thought by basically resting last night, a couple things would happen. One, I'd be in better shape for today. Two, I would kind of be resting, like last night, resting and enjoying my time watching some YouTube. And it turns out it didn't happen as far as I enjoy the live streams more. And it's like, well, how can you enjoy it more? It's work, it's stressful, it's you're putting yourself out there, and that's not really like a real big component of who you are. And yet you would rather, hindsight, you would have rather streamed last night at 9 o'clock than watched YouTube. And the answer is yes. And you say, well, you're streaming to no one. There's no one even there. And it's like, I don't know, maybe someday somebody will see it and they'll like what they saw. It's hard to believe though, isn't it? I mean, it was for me. It was very illustrative. I don't like to miss the real estate live stream at all. The Realty stream and I are just like that's just what I do in the morning. At 9 o'clock, that's what I do. And it's like, this might be the best moments of my day. As far as selfishly, the live streams, as far as just that I enjoy. I mean, I think everybody has their own thoughts and their own opinions, or they should. Or you have your own manufactured thoughts that you take from sources so that you can have them planted in your head. And I think we're all guilty of it. I don't think I'm criticizing anyone, but I mean, just the ability to somewhat be free and not like work is stressful. Today is stressful. I'm going to have to write 2 or 3 contracts, have them all in by tomorrow. Then I'll have to follow up on them. Then their emotional things, people, if they get the houses, will be so excited and happy. And if they don't get the houses, they're going to be miserable. And I'm going to be miserable. Monday, I might be so sick. I just, I was going to say I'm just going to sit and not do anything, but I'd probably live stream because it's that much fun. You say, well, it's not getting anywhere. And I understand that. And I don't know what to do about that. Our group, you and me, like we're not a big section. The other thing is, like, people will watch me. Okay. They'll watch a show and they won't subscribe. And then like 6 months later, they'll see me again and they won't subscribe. Like they don't see me enough to subscribe, like to want to be around. So anyway, that's my idea. That's what I think. And you free to disagree. So I wanted to do the live stream. The second point I wanted to make was, or the second thing I had was, last night I was, my wife was gone. She was at a soccer tournament with the kids. And obviously I couldn't go because I had to show houses. And I was sleeping, right? Middle of the night. And I was looking forward to the rest after the YouTube experience wasn't so great, really. And 1:30 in the morning, I wake up, there's a phone call, and I don't normally get phone calls in the middle of the night because I have my ringers turned off, so it would only be an emergency. Somebody called me and woke me up at 1:30 in the morning. So my mind was just racing. And you know what it was racing about? There was this internal fear that I had forgotten to lock a door at a house showing, and that and that the agent was calling me at 1:39 in the morning to tell me that I had done a bad job. They were calling to scold me. That was the thought. Now, that's not true. I remember all the houses I was at last night, and I remember locking every door, because that's one of the things that you wake up in the middle of the night about without somebody calling. So didn't get that rest that I was looking for last night. But yeah. Let's go over one thing. Like I'm going to take a look at the mortgage rate. We're going to go there. I think there you go. And let's just see what we're at from yesterday. It went back up to over 5.06%. Now, if you call your mortgage professional and say, I want the rate today, it's Saturday, they're going to tell you like 5.3, 5.4. There's a big markup between this current interest rate and what you can actually get as a consumer. But rates above 5, not good. Now, going back to my buyers and our situations, one of the houses we talked about last night is, how can this continually be so? I mean, we were sitting outside a house just talking because it was so busy inside. I mean, people were driving in like it was almost like a drive-through. And this was a $400,000 house, which you may not think is a very expensive house, but it's above the average in the United States by almost $70,000. So I thought that was, do people not realize how bad the market's gotten as far as rates and borrowing, or do they just not care? I would like to propose that we are seeing a fundamental shift in the housing market, and that when people finally get to where they're going, that is where everybody's finally bought the house that they want to buy, in the large trend, you're not going to see this level of real estate activity for a decade or more. And you know what? And to be honest with you, thank God. My business was off tremendously because so many people jumped into real estate in the last 2 years. And it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. And then, driving and writing offers and losing out when somebody else, when there were 30 other offers. It's just like, no, this is not real estate. This is not enjoyable. This is not fun, which, ironically started my shift in thinking. I used to mail newsletters. I used to mail probably 5,000 newsletters a month. And my return was not great. On a year-to-year basis, I may get one listing, and maybe I'd get a lot of calls. I wouldn't even get a lot of calls. I wouldn't always get the listing, first of all. And then how do I put this? For the money, I could have used the money in other places that could have built the business faster. Even if I didn't spend it, I still would have had a better situation. I mean, I had to buy printing machines. I had to buy folders and tabbers. And I mean, my whole basement's filled with all kinds of stuff. And what I wanted was something that could reach people that weren't on the internet, because I felt like where my community is, it's a lot of people that are older and they're not going to be on the internet to look for real estate agents. But what I found, oddly enough, and I'll share these results with anyone, is that the majority of the people that liked my newsletter would die in their homes, and they would, their kids would get the agent to list it, and then that wasn't going to be me because they didn't care about me. It's depressing. I don't know. I don't know that my new approach is going to do any better. It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle. It's one of the more bizarre things. It's where I'm at. It's just difficult. It's difficult to differentiate yourself between, God knows how many agents in a small area. We all have our own personalities and things like that, but mainly it's just being found. And if you're a real estate agent and you're in the same spots as every other real estate agent, you fight over the same listings, and it's just kind of like how I want business to be and how it is are two different things. And it's a stupid way to go for me to fight the consensus, essentially fight what I know works. And you say, what works? Well, radio, billboards. And you say, well, if that works, why doesn't everybody do it? Well, it's tough. I don't have the infrastructure to do like mass marketing. And you may not understand what that means, but what it means is basically, if I get a call from someone, a quote unquote lead, I can call them back once and say, hey, how you doing? My name is John, and this is, were you calling about such and such home, or is there some way I can help you? And then, the conversation goes from there for that day. But if you want to talk about lead, quote unquote, lead nurturing or following up over the course of 6 months to a year, I just don't have the ability to do that. I'm busy working with the clients that I have. I don't know. I thought I'd share some of the inside baseball of real estate. And then the next part is you can't ever predict your revenue, which is tough. And then, right now I'm swamped with buyers, and they're just driving me all across the county, all across the city. And if I get some houses under contract, it will alleviate some of that stress. But in this market where it's difficult to get houses under contract, it's just a nightmare. Like, I have some people that I know want to see a house today, and I don't know how I'm going to show it. I don't know. I don't know. Going to be tough. So yeah, that's me. It's 15 minutes in. And I don't even know. I don't even know if I changed it, but I think I'm on the 40th consecutive live stream. I had done 69 consecutive live streams earlier this year on my old channel, or my podcast channel. There's another thing that I don't know if it worked out very well. I changed my main channel and I moved my live streams over to this channel because I thought that the statistics and the engagement were coming down, and I thought it was affecting the main channel. And I didn't want to do that. But when you start a new channel, you start from nothing if you don't have a dedicated fan base. And so I don't have a dedicated fan base. And so now I'm starting from scratch. And it's been humbling. That's all I can say about that. Humbling. So let's get into the show. I mean, 16 minutes in, let's have a home showing report. See, I do this all the time. I have a good intro and then I get stopped on something. Okay, so today, because I'm showing all kinds of houses, I probably will do a live stream tonight because, like I said, I enjoy it. I probably will not update this stream until maybe tomorrow, like this thumbnail and all that stuff. I'm saying that probably as soon as I get done, I've got to jump in the shower and I've got to leave. And then I should be home around 8 o'clock tonight. And we're going to go over the showings tomorrow. It's going to be fun. It's Sunday morning. We'll chill. And then I'll start writing offers. Yay. And then I had one place where it was a condo. My buyer wanted to buy it. I wanted to write an offer on it. It's not FHA approved. And I just wanted to go over this scenario for you so that you can kind of come along with my thinking. Okay. St. Louis. Now, my lender says that it's rare that it's rare across the United States that condos aren't FHA approved. Like in St. Louis, the level of approvals is not as high as other places. What is an FHA approval is? You have to fill out a certificate and you have to send it in, and then you're FHA approved. Now, I think you have to have so many people in the complex that are actual owners, not renting. I think that's a portion of it. But the other thing is the people in the units really, for quite some time, haven't really needed to go FHA because they haven't been that expensive. That's all changed in this market where we're seeing, I was seeing even last year condo units in this particular complex we were looking at 160, 170. Now we're having asking prices of 220, and there was multiple offers at 220. That's significant. That's significant. I don't particularly. And then they're going to have, we're going to have the escalation clauses and everything else. So it's going to be tough. But if you ever are in a condominium complex and you want to have more people move in, get the FHA certification. Get that done, because like right now I have a wonderful buyer that's supremely qualified to purchase a condo, but wants to go FHA. Feels like that's the best plan for her, and I have no problem with FHA. But and we love that condo, and there's nothing we can do, because if we put in an offer, what's going to happen is somebody's going to write an offer. Let's say that the asking price is $100,000, and I'm just playing around with numbers. Okay, and we're going to have to go on an escalation clause like 130. Okay, and somebody else does an escalation clause. They want the house too, or the condo, and they're going to go to 125. And our offer is going to be an FHA only. Theirs is going to be a conventional. The seller's going to know that to get an FHA spot approval is possible, but not guaranteed. The seller's agent will instruct the seller to take the 125 offer, because the chances of the mortgage falling through are less than the FHA mortgage. Now, it's what's not funny, but what's a fact is my buyer needs to buy a place. Rent's going up in her particular townhouse, and she needs to find a place soon. And so In our situation, we almost can't write the offer, because if we write the offer and it's accepted and we have our escrow money out there, so let's just say the escrow amount's like $5,000, okay, which is not, I mean, at one point in time, that was a lot of money. I mean, in my lifetime, it still is to me, but anyway, other people are, I mean, they're just throwing money around like it's never going to stop. So if we write an offer and it's accepted, okay, within 3 days, we have to get the escrow money to the title company. So then that money is now sitting at the title company. That, let's say, did we say 5,000? Okay. And then loan commitment, let's just say we try to do a 30-day close. So loan commitment comes around day 21. Okay. And we can't get a loan commitment, so we have to back out of the deal. Now we're 21 days into the deal. We have to back out. Seller has to put the house back on the market. They don't want to do that. My buyer needs the escrow money back in her account so that she can write an offer on another house or condo. And like, if you think about it, she needs to get a place soon. So waiting around to get escrow money back on a deal that didn't fall through doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Let me ask, does it make any sense to you? The interwebs? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So now we're stuck in a situation where, you know, we really, even if we want to buy this place, it's not FHA approved, and we can't. Even though you could get a spot approval, but it's not guaranteed. It's just the odds aren't in your favor. You should always try to play games when the odds in your favor. My opinion. Now, it's this particular game we're playing, acquiring a condo, acquiring a house in this market we don't have the upper hand. Sellers have the upper hand 100%. And real estate agents, I'll tell you, they're looking like rock stars to their sellers. Like, oh, look at me, I got 50 offers on your house. Look how great of a marketer I am. Got nothing to do with the market itself. It's everything to do with me. I am the greatest agent ever. It makes me laugh. Makes me laugh. Makes me cry because I haven't gotten that many listings. So anyway, that's what I think about that deal. What do you think? Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments. Put it in the a year from now, I'll read it. Whatever. You know? I mean, this is where we are. We are here. Let me talk about something I thought was interesting, and that is, if you want to sell something to someone, or if you want to get a job from somewhere, shouldn't you like do the cursory research necessary to get the job or to be a good candidate? Or does it just not matter anymore because, you know, you can get a job anywhere? For instance, if you wanted to come and work for Deerwood Realty, you'd probably want to search me on the internet and maybe even check out YouTube or social media and know that I'm doing a live stream daily. And maybe you'd want to like watch one so that you kind of knew who I was, so that you didn't come at me with some sort of sales spiel or employment spiel that didn't make any sense. I mean, I'm here every day. That's another thing. I have so much digital things that I can't do them all and do the real estate business. And I'm not stopping the real estate business. That's one thing that I want to try to explain the best I can. And that is, I quite like being a real estate broker. I quite like being a real estate agent. I very much enjoy the rush of people buying houses and people selling houses. I do. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket at age 44, though. I like the live streaming. I like people to see what's going on. If you want to get some like no BS real estate advice, I'm probably the best place you can go. My advice might be wrong. But for the most part, I mean, I'm right in the mix. I don't know. That's just something I want to throw out there. So let's do a home showing report from last night and just see where that takes us. The first home, $400,000 home in Jefferson County. story and a not story and a half. It's a ranch. It's a big ranch, and we went with some buyers that have been looking for a long time. And when we got there were three groups in the house already. When we left, there was one group still in the house, and about four other groups were, in and out, coming through. So lots of traffic on the house. When you walk in, it goes into the living room. Basically, to the right is the stairs downstairs. When you go to the basement, it's like 10-foot ceilings and carpeted. And it was kind of broken up. There was a number of bedrooms. There were 2 bedrooms with egresses, so you could count them as bedrooms. It was a 5-bedroom home. There was like a living room in the basement, and then there's a little utility area. Upstairs at the garage, right off the garage, was the washing machine and dryer. I love the idea of a main floor laundry. But I'm always in my basement working, so it doesn't really, I don't care. And the other thing that's weird, like as I kind of thought about it more, you got the main floor laundry off the garage, and the room isn't really big enough to fold anything, and the room isn't really big enough to hang anything up. And if, God forbid, you start, your lawnmower out in the garage and the gas fumes come through the door, all of a sudden it's not the best place for the laundry room, because maybe your house is different than mine. When you wash your clothes, do you get them all done? I don't. Like, I don't get them all. Like, I don't get them washed, dried, and folded at the same time. Maybe you do. Anyway, nice kitchen. There was an island, but you couldn't really sit underneath the bar on the island. It wasn't big enough, so you had to have the little formal dining room. So there was like a formal dining room, and then that was the door outside. Now, if you've ever been in Jefferson County, you'll know that every house is on a hill, very, very hilly. And this house was it was on top of a hill, and the backyard was pretty flat. It wasn't a bad house. I think that people will push the price to so high that it'll make it not a deal. Also, the construction of the home did not match the other homes in the neighborhood. So I don't know if it got built later or what. Anyway, that was the first house. That was in, let's call it Windsor School District. It's called Imperial. If you know the house because you're watching, shame on you. Next house was at Odell. I gave an address. Not good. Well, you don't know which part of Odell. Anyway, this is the first time that this has ever happened to me. This was in South City, kind of by the hill. I was on time. My buyer was there a little early. An agent was going to show the house before my buyer got there. Agent opened the door, okay, and then put the key back in the Supra and locked it. So I couldn't get in. I had to go and use the Supra to get in. And I guess that guarantees that I'm in the system, and it's like, okay, fine, whatever. I would have done it later. Anyway, I thought it was kind of rude. First time that's ever happened to me in 14 years. So to me, they were rude. I'm just going to say. So anyway, we go to the house. Nice house. The area to me is going through like what I would say gentrification. There's a lot of new construction. I had looked at a house on the same street 2 doors down about 2 months ago. Asking over $100. Well, let me see. Asking $60,000 to $80,000 more than that house. It was an interesting house for a number of reasons. One, the roof is literally on top of the roof of the house next door. Never seen that in all of my real estating. Two, there's a huge tree in the back that's going to have to come down, and it's in the fence. So that's going to be a pain. But the house was nice. Oh, the other thing is the kitchen was kind of in the middle of the house. But that was weird. It was strange, but it's good enough. We're going to look at with that particular buyer, we're going to look at 8 other houses today, which is too many, but we needed to do it. So we'll do it. They need a place, and so we'll see what happens. But anyway, that house close to the hill. Okay. I'm not going to say much more about it. I don't know if we're going to put an offer in or not. Next one was not in the hill. It was, I think it's Ellendale. They say it's not. They say it's Franz Park, but I just feel like it's Ellendale. Anyway, that was a fascinating house, and let me explain to you why. It was also on a hill, but it was at the bottom of the hill, and on the top of the hill. Now, this is not the St. Louis the hill. This is just a hill. All these new houses were built. It was an area that had gone through gentrification probably 10 to 15 years ago. Yes, it's very odd. Very odd. And the houses that they built were massive. And they're cool looking. They had garages that are kind of tuck unders, and it was it's like a 3-story house. And you could look down on everyone. Like if you're on the 3rd floor, you could look out over this just wonderful scene. So this house that we saw had been built in 1920. So it was not one of the new houses. And there's only I'd say 15 of the houses left. And this was a case of, here we go. So we go in. The first thing we notice is the front porch is falling off. It's painted and it looks nice, but it's old and it needs work. We go inside the house, okay, and the house is kind of leaning on the way the hill is leaning, which indicates to me that the foundation might have issues, and we haven't been in the basement yet, so I don't know. We go a big kitchen for this particular area. We go through the kitchen into the back porch, which is also falling over. I mean, it's totally rotten and going away. There were retaining walls at some point in time that are disgustingly bad, and they are rotting. The windows in the home are not new. They've never been replaced since 1927. That's problematic. When you went to the shower, it had been redone, but it had not been redone well. The grout was all going to need to be replaced in the shower. So that was problematic. The size of the bedrooms was decent, but not great. So, I mean, we're not doing good for the price. Okay. Then when we get to the basement, evidence of significant buckling, and they had done on the work. I mean, it was all done, but then the systems were old. The systems were built in systems were the 80s, had no name furnace, so who knows about that? We don't know about the roof. So this is a house that was cute, but it was priced right at the top of the market for this area. And it needed a ton of work. You needed like $20,000 worth of work just to make it compelling. And you could buy another house for that same for the same $20,000 over, and not have to do any work. At the end of the day, do we want to do all that work ourselves for no discount? Like, who's paying us for our time and energy to fix up the house? No one. And so I told them, they said, and it needed siding, had asbestos siding right now. I said, look, we can buy a house at this level somewhere else and not have to do any work. Why would we buy this one? Like, what is it about this house? Is it the location? Really? There's nothing about the house that was worth my buyers and my logic in going to buy it. I mean, making an offer on it. We could do that somewhere else. So they agreed with me, and they said, I agree. That doesn't make any sense. And that's where I'm at. I don't mind doing a little work. I don't mind pulling up carpet, changing out the flooring. I mean, it's a job that requires you to, it's dusty and dirty, but nothing like changing out windows. That's expensive. Nothing like rebuilding decks, and and retaining walls. They get expensive. You asked me how I know I built a retaining wall during the virus. That was my backyard project during the virus. My 2 weeks to stop the spread or slow the curve. I don't remember what it was anymore. It's been so long. Anyway, those were my 3 showings. When I came home, I was hungry. I ate something and I watched some TV. And you know that. And you know that I didn't live stream. And you know I feel guilty about it. Okay. So when I get done today with the live stream that I was telling you, I'm probably not gonna do a thumbnail, probably not gonna do any research, and probably gonna wait till tonight to work on. As soon as I get done with this, I need to, first of all, go in and work on the showings for today. I have to print off all the stuff and get my stuff in order, and then I need to jump in the shower, and then I need to leave. I need to leave at 11:15. So I have an hour and 15 minutes after the show ends to get that stuff done. So I'll be honest with you. I don't think I'm going to do anything until maybe tonight with the show. No thumbnail, no description. If it hurts my viewership, I mean, nobody's really watching anyway. But you should be watching. If you're watching now, please subscribe. All right, so that was the showing report. It was a long one. I'm sorry. Let's get into some articles. This was from Google search. I thought it was interesting, and I wanted to bring it to you. I need to stop with the contextualizing everything. This came up in Google search. I thought it was interesting. What is grapple? And I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I have never heard this word before. And it showed up in Google search. And so, I mean, let's learn. Grapple is what happens when snowflakes become coated in ice. Grapple isn't hard like hail, but it isn't soft like fluffy snowflakes. In fact, it's similar in composition to Dipping Dots ice cream. What is grapple? Grapple is also known as soft hail to many, but it's not actually hail at all. Instead, grapple is more like tiny beads filled with snow and only lightly coated with ice, making them soft to crush. In order to understand how grapple is formed, one must first remember that all wintry weather begins way up in the atmosphere as snow. When the air stays cold the entire way down with no pockets of moisture, then you end up with fluffy flakes. Okay, so this is telling you how you get snowflakes. When the air stays cold the entire way down with no pockets of moisture, then you end up with fluffy flakes. How does grapple form? Grapple is formed when there are clouds where ice particles, supercooled water droplets, and snow collide with each other as they get tossed by turbulent air. Within a cloud that produces grapple, temperatures need to be just below freezing, with some portion being below 15 degrees Fahrenheit. This allows both supercooled water droplets and snow to exist in the cloud. During the process that forms grapple, snowflakes collide with supercooled water droplets as they get tumbled by the turbulence. When these supercooled droplets attach to the snowflake, the droplets immediately freeze on contact, covering the snowflake with a thin layer of ice. How is it different from hail? Grapple differs from hail in the way it is made and also in the composition. Hail is formed during the thunderstorm, when raindrops are carried upward by the thunderstorm's updrafts into extremely cold areas of the atmosphere and freeze. The hailstones grow when they collide with liquid water drops that freeze onto the hailstone's surface. The hail falls when the thunderstorm's updraft can no longer support the weight of the hailstone, which can occur if the stone becomes large enough or the updraft weakens. Essentially, hail is pure ice and hard and dense, while grapple is much softer and only lightly glazed with ice. Also, while hail is exclusive to thunderstorms, grapple can happen whenever the conditions are right. What do you think about that? Have you ever seen grapple? I've not. I've never heard of it. This is the first time. I'm 44 years old and learning something new. Like a weather phenomenon. Yesterday was weird. We didn't get grapple here. It was this weird sort of rain that kind of was cold. It was not a good day to show houses, but I had a very smart outfit on. And I feel like today I look pretty good. Like this makes me comfortable. Nice sweater. Sweater weather. I like it. I like it. So anyway, that's grapple. I bet you didn't know that. Let's continue with houses for sale in San Jose, California. I hit the button and it didn't move. There. Here we go. There's like this one here is, I think it's 102 acre lot. I'm not going to look at that. That one's new construction. That one just looks not good, but it's on a huge lot, I'm sure. This one's on a 12 acre lot. This one's on a 2 acre lot. Let's look at the first house. $7.288 million. 5 bedrooms, 5.5, 8,000 square feet on a half acre lot. Been on the market 51 days, built in 2002 with a 6-car garage. Property details are not too big. Okay. Property history. Let's look at that real quick. Just listed in February. And I'm okay with that. Sweeping scenic views. Now, so in the listing pictures, we should probably see some of those views, right? It's stellar per square foot value. Only $888 per square foot. Gorgeous 8,200 square foot mansion by legendary architect Bob Fleury. Adjoins thousands of acres of open space and ranch land. Using finest materials by renowned craftsmen, the 5 bedroom, 5.5 baths has extensive hardwood floors, crown molding, and wainscoting panels. Crystal and alabaster chandeliers and sconces. Picturesque front has centerpiece fountain, travertine walks and patios. Soaring entry, marble staircases, bronzed wrought iron railing, dome ceiling, elegantly appointing living room. I don't know, family room. I'm going to go with that. Walnut library. I've always wanted a library for my walnuts. High ceiling, family room with Versailles-inspired solid oak floor. 2-way fireplace connects family room to gourmet kitchen gourmet kitchen with large quartzite island. Counters, Viking ranges and ovens. Private main level owner suite with grand crown molding and custom fireplace overlooking formal gardens. Large well-appointed Jack and Jill guest suites with great views. Pebble Tech pool with water features, spa, Cabernet vineyard, gated motor court, 6-car finished garage, country club complex with 24-hour security. Well, it's just interesting. 86 pictures. You know me. We'll get to 50 and I'll quit because I'm not doing it. All right. So you're in California and have grass. Cool. Now we're in the house. Good. And we talked about the railing. Good. It's there. Nice. That's a parquet floor. But whatevs. Built in 2002. Boy, it's hard to believe that this was 2002. To me, that was like yesterday. But we got wallpaper. Heavy on the wallpaper. The island's nice. I get it. It's not a very big kitchen, though. Is there a fireplace in the kitchen? It appears to be. I don't know if there is. That's kind of, I don't know about you, but my kitchen always gets hot. I don't really need a fireplace. We almost saw a view there. We're 20 pictures in. We haven't seen a view. This is the whole reason, apparently, why. Oh, boy. That's ornate. I'm not seeing these views. I'm seeing a lot of wallpaper. 30 pictures in, no views. I was told there were views. There's kind of a view. I can't believe, again, this house was built in 2002. I mean, it's just, I don't know. That's nice. You can at least see like the entrance, the foyer. Oh, there's a nice pool table setup. I don't know why the pictures are being jerks today. Like, see, I don't know why we're running slow. Any day now. I mean, I'll do it. There we go. Maybe those were the views. Maybe those were the pictures of the views that we were missing. All right, we're at 50, 49, 50. Okay, there are nice views out there. We just didn't see them in the first 50 pictures, and I'm not going any further. Land, no. New construction, no. Open house today, yes. Let's do this one. $5 million, 4 beds, 5.5 baths, 6,846 square feet on a 2-acre lot. 2-car garage built in 1995, 4 days on the market. Property details. Sophisticated Los Gatos Mediterranean villa sits on 2.5 acres and offers stunning mountain and city views. The gated resort-style estate provides the best of California indoor-outdoor luxury living. Guests are welcome into an impressive 24-foot grand foyer with sweeping staircase drenched in natural light. Drenched in natural light. That is something else. Maybe you need an umbrella for all that natural light. In Italian marble floors flow throughout the property, and the kitchen dons imported Italian etch-proof marble countertops. It's etch-proof. Wow. The open concept kitchen, breakfast room, game room, and community room create a perfect space for both entertaining and exquisite living. The approximately 7,000 square foot estate boasts 2 expansive primary suites with fireplaces and spa-style bathrooms, guest quarters on the main level, and ensuite bedrooms, a private office, verandas, breakfast patios, gracious dining room and reception room, and butler's pantry. Amazing grounds, an inviting pool and a sun-drenched staircase. I mean, potential for a guest house and/or pool house may be built. Convenient location. This property is not to be missed. Now, there's always potential. Problem is zoning. Zoning kills anything. $5 million, just straight out. Give me 5, and you got the house. So I love the pool with the hot tub, like connecting it. I just do. There you go. There's your house. There's somebody else's house. There's another person's house. This person here might only see your house the way this looks, but I hope not. I hope not. I hope they have, there's the views, not for you. It's just a drone. I love the pool though. I don't like this. I don't know what that is. Kind of ugly. There's your sun-drenched staircase. I would say that so far they've done a very nice job because I know exactly where I am in the house. Because a lot of times, see, they're showing like the other room. So like when you go to it, it's like, oh, okay, this is the room that I was in. Beautiful kitchen. Good size. Won't let me. I mean, pictures today are just not my friend. I don't know why. I've never seen that kind of. I mean, I'm serious. I've never really seen like this half moon shaped ceiling before in a house. Looks good. Looks good. Kind of interesting to have this upstairs. That's nice. I mean, like, this is cool. See how there's a delineation between the bedroom and then like a little sitting area? I like that. I like that a lot. Huh. That's a lot. It looks like that's a lot to keep clean. It was built in 1995. I graduated from high school in 1995. And it's a nice house. I like it. versus that other home. That other house didn't speak to me. And that's the enjoyment of looking at houses, is there's always something for someone. You just have to find it. Beautiful. Oh, and a playground. Yay. I like that it shows you kind of the area of the home. That's very helpful. And I'm done. One more house, and then we got to head on out. This, I kind of want to see this house. It's only 3.9 million only. And like this one's 3.6 and it looks really amazing. But I got to keep going because today is not the day to dawdle. 93 pictures, there's no way. Property history, just listed in March 31st. Unbridled elegance in this architectural masterpiece on 2.5 acres with a private driveway and wooded views. The stunning custom estate showcases exceptional detailing, fine finishes, and an open floor plan celebrating indoor-outdoor living. An abundance of oak trees offers an unparalleled private setting. Oak trees in California, I had no idea. Outdoor entertaining with built-in kitchen and patios, solar-heated infinity pool and spa with waterfall feature. Custom alder and leaded glass front door opens into a 2-story foyer with grand imperial-style staircase, soaring ceilings, lots of natural light, a formal living room featuring a fireplace, a wine bar, and Juliet balconies framing mountain views. Great room consists of expansive living, gourmet kitchen with multiple prep stations, and a 9x3 island, and 4 sliding glass doors that lead to the outside. Stunning views from the formal dining room. I hope we see them. 5 bedrooms, executive office, gym area, 4 full baths, and 2 half baths. Top schools. Greystone, Bret Hart, Leland. I don't know what that means. Oh, those are the schools, maybe. Now, this looks a little dicey to get in. That's just a cool entrance. I mean, I'm okay with that. I would have liked to see the front door, but whatevs. 93 pictures. It's just kind of tucked into the hill or the mountain. That is a beautiful view. See, I mean, they're saying, oh, look at that. Beautiful pool. Really looks nice. Outdoor space, outdoor living area, very important. There's your front door with all the leaded glass and whatever the word is that I don't remember. Those stairs look steep to me. Also, if you go in this house, is there like a floor that you don't have to go upstairs for? I don't know. There's the kitchen. We're going to zoom through this because I've got to get going. It's 9:53 and I've got to keep going. Beautiful flooring. I like it. I'm good. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Built in 2008. Okay. Lots of room for people. Lots of stairs. How many people actually play pool all night long? Like, I don't have time to do anything. And like, so playing pool to me seems like if you had that kind of time, congratulations. Okay. 50 pictures. I did it. Today, believe it or not, if we get through the articles, I have no other articles. I must research articles tomorrow morning on a Sunday morning so that you guys can have something to look at tomorrow. Market housing update. Home prices post biggest 4-week jump in at least 5 years. Pending home sales continue to outpace 2021 even as the listing shortage dragged on and mortgage rates shot up to above 4% for the first time since May of 2019. This is March 17th. We're up to 5% now on the mortgage. The U.S. median home price sales surged 7% during the 4-week period ending March 13th, the largest month-over-month increase in Redford's data, which goes back to 2017. With mortgage rates also soaring, the typical home buyer's monthly payment reached a new high of $2,123 a month. That's more than $530 more than the typical pre-pandemic buyer is paying. Pending sales climbed 3% year over year, despite new listings shrinking at the same rate. There are plenty of reasons to be worried about the economy, but demand for housing so far has remained strong. Consumers continue to spend on housing, even though gas prices are on the rise, and supply chain interruptions may lead to even more inflation. That's going to be a dicey way to put it, because that's not why we're getting inflation anymore. That was true a while back. Anyway, home buyers are betting that even as the economy twists and turns, owning a home will be a worthwhile investment as mortgage rates continue to shoot up from historic lows at an unprecedented pace. They could prove to be one of the one force that can slow down home buying demand in the spring. Look at that. I mean, bam. It's terrible. Key housing markets for 400 U.S. metro areas. Unless otherwise noted, the data in the report covers the 4-week period ending March 13th. Redfin's housing market data goes back through 2012. Early it said 2017, so I'm a little confused. Median home sales price was up 17% year over year to $376,350 and up 36% from the same time in 2020. Prices were up 7% from 4 weeks prior, the largest 4-week increase on record. Median asking price of newly listed homes increased 14% year over year at an all-time high of $396,700 and rose 28% from the same time in 2020. This is called an asset bubble, what we're seeing. The monthly mortgage rate on the median asking price home rose to a record high $2,123. The current 4.16 mortgage rate. This was 25% up from a year earlier, with mortgage rates when they were 3.9% and up 34% from the same period in 2020 when rates were 3.65%. Pending home sales were up 3% year over year and 33% from the same period of 2020, just prior to the start of the pandemic. New listings of homes for sale were down 3% from a year earlier. Compared to 2020, new listings were down 12%. Active listings, the number of homes listed for sale at any point during the period, fell 23% year over year, dropping to an all-time low of 464,000. Listings were down 50% from the same period in 2020. That's right, there's just no inventory. 59% of homes that went under contract had an accepted offer within the first 2 weeks of the market, an all-time high. This was up from the 53% rate of a year earlier and 44% in 2020. 45% of the homes that went under contract had an accepted offer within 1 week of hitting the market, an all-time high. This was up from 40% during the same period a year earlier and 32% in 2020. Homes that sold were on the market for a median of 23 days, down from 32 days a year earlier and 50 days in 2020. 48% of the homes sold above list point, up from 37% a year earlier and 23% in 2020. I mean, it's just ridiculous. When you go to a house and you know that you're going to have to pay some stupid number over asking on every single house you go to, it's sickening. On average, 2.8% of homes for sale each week had a price drop, up 0.6% percentage points from the same time in 2021, but down 0.6 percentage points from 2020. The average sale to list price ratio, which measures how close homes are to selling to their asking prices, rose to 101.4%. In other words, the average home sold for 1.4% above its asking price. This was up from 99.9% in 2021 and 98.2% in 2020. I remember, you still had to go above asking for a house that was decent. Other leading indicators of home buying activity: mortgage purchase applications increased. That's surprising. For the week ending March 17th, 30-year mortgage rates rose to 4.16, highest level since April 19. Well, congratulations. Now they're 5.9% from this morning. Touring activity was 13 percentage points behind the same period in 2021 and 4 points behind the same period in 2020. Very interesting, because, boy, everyone I go to, there's people everywhere. They're crawling all over you. Redfin Home Buyer Demand Index, that's proprietary, don't care. Anyway, basically, stupid hot market. Look at what's happened. This isn't good, and it will lead to a correction at some point. That's the bottom line. Last article. Just checking the chat. Well, I don't even have anybody even watching right now. This is sad. 0 viewers. Anyway, whatever. Whatevs. 65%. I thought this was an interesting article because do you ever wonder, if I carry a credit card balance, does that help my credit score? That's what I was told when I was a kid. They're like, you don't have any credit. You don't have any established lines of credit. So even though you have a credit card, you don't really have good credit. And so it's like, wait a minute, I have to buy a bunch of stuff on credit so I can have a good credit score? I mean, that seems like a bad idea. Why would I want debt? Just so that I can have a good score? It doesn't make any sense to me. Never has. I don't particularly like credit. I run my business on cash. I don't know. It seems like the right thing to do. Americans are making credit card mistakes that are costing them money and impacting their credit scores, according to the latest LendingTree survey of 1,000 Americans. One big reveal was that almost 2/3 of consumers believe carrying a credit card balance helps improve their credit score. This is the cockroach of credit scoring myths. It's just absolutely will not die. In addition, the survey revealed that more than half of Americans aren't checking their credit scores, I don't care, or maximizing their credit card rewards, and more than 1/3 don't know what their credit card interest rates are. Explore which consumers are most likely to fall victim to such credit misconceptions and pick up some tips on how to avoid the most common credit card mistakes. Key findings: 2/3 of Americans believe this costly credit card myth that carrying a small balance on their credit card each month will improve their credit score. The number is even higher among Generation Z. In reality, this likely means consumers are paying extra interest when they don't have to. More than half of consumers haven't checked their credit score in over a month. In addition, 1 in 4 cardholders don't review their card statements every month. Because of those behaviors, put Americans at risk of missing discrepancies with their score or transactions. I have to check it every month because I have to pay the bill. But I don't check the score. I don't care. I don't want to buy anything on credit anyway. More than 1/3 of cardholders don't know their credit card interest rates. I don't know mine, and it changes. While that's not an issue for those who pay their bills in full each month, bingo, it's worth looking into for the 49% of cardholders who generally carry a balance. Women struggle to pay their credit card bills in full and on time. I don't want to do a men and women things. I'm sick of all this division. Credit cards can provide many benefits, but many aren't taking advantage of them. Specifically, more than half of card-carrying consumers are missing out on credit card rewards by paying with cards that don't provide points or cash back, despite the majority of cardholders having at least one rewards card. 65% think carrying a balance helps their score, and that's not the only credit card mistake consumers are making. The myth that keeping a small balance on your cards is actually good for your credit score is pervasive, with just about 2 out of 3 Americans believing it. For the youngest consumer, Generation Z is 79%, but it's simply not accurate. Though Schultz isn't actually sure where this myth comes from, he thinks perhaps it could be confusion with the idea that you need to keep a card active in order to keep it from being closed. It's definitely true that a dormant or little used card might be at risk of being closed by its issuer, and it even happened even more so during the early days of the pandemic. However, according to Schultz, you do not need to carry a balance on your card in order to keep it from being closed. You just have to use it periodically. Schultz suggests putting a small recurring bill on a card you don't use much and paying it off in full each month. Worse than paying interest on small balances, however, 2 major things that many Americans have done that just actually hurts their credit score: paying a credit card bill late and maxing out their credit cards. Just about half of consumers say they've paid a credit card bill late at least once. Well, I mean, who hasn't? I mean, I don't get it in the mail one time and I don't pay it on time, and so that makes me a bad person. Whatever. A single payment that is 30 days or more late can devastate your credit, making your score fall 50 to 100 points depending on your individual circumstances. That's because nothing matters more to your credit than your track record of paying on time. Once that is disrupted, the consequences are massive. So other major credit blunder concerns the other credit blunder consumers make involves maxing out their cards, with 48% surveyed doing so. Maxing out a card sends your credit utilization rate, or how much debt you have compared to your available credit, soaring. Utilization also happens to be the second most important factor in FICO's scoring formulas. Maxing out your credit cards give the appearance to your card issuers that you're struggling financially. And when you're struggling to pay down your current debts, issuers may become less likely to want to lend you money. You know, the credit card thing is an epidemic in the United States. I think it's just terrible. I think it's just terrible that people put so much money on their credit cards. But that's just living in America now. It's just bad. Does your credit card's interest rate matter? The survey found that 35% of cardholders don't know their credit card's APR, but that may not matter. Not everyone needs to know their credit card's APR simply because not everyone carries a balance on their cards. If you pay your balances off in full each month, as Schultz does, oh, well, congratulations. You'll never pay interest, so APR becomes a moot point. However, if you regularly carry a balance, you should pay more attention to your card's interest rate. That way you can better estimate what your monthly card bill will be and know where you stand should you decide to negotiate a lower one with your credit card issuer. Whatever. I don't know. I don't think it's that interesting. I mean, we're going to the base. We're going no frame. I'm just done with the article. If you want to read it, it's going to be linked in the description. What did we learn today? By the way, I'm looking kind of rough. I'm sorry. I need to take some time and for some personal care, and hopefully Monday, that'll be the day. Just don't have time right now. Just running through all the motions and just don't have the time. So anyway, with that, I'm going to head out. Not going to be long. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow I'll be here, 9 o'clock. You come with me. You come hang out with me and we'll talk about real estate stuff. I don't even know what, because I haven't done any research. I'm going to have to do that tomorrow morning. It's going to be crazy. but it'll be fun. So